course, when I come outside, someone starts using a weed whacker. That's okay. I just wanted to do a little update. Thank you for joining on the channel. If you are a subscriber and tuning in, I appreciate you, and I'd love to see you in the comments and connect with you. It's been a minute since I have done a podcast, or since I have done a channeled message. The channeled messages that have been recently posting were done a while ago. So while they might be recently posted on YouTube, they are not recent videos. And I just want to kind of tune in today and see what the heck's going on, because I don't know about y'all, but I have been so exhausted, like to another level. By like 3 p.m. I am just wiped out and could sleep for 5 hours. And usually I'm not like that. Usually I can like really go, but lately I have just been feeling crazy sleepy, and I want to see what this is about, but also I just want to ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling? You know, if you have any questions, I'd love to tune into my spirit guides and ask them, so feel free to leave questions down below. But I've been feeling very quiet. My creative kind of momentum has really slowed down, and I do feel I'm in this big transition period, this big kind of evolution. And when you're going through something like that, in the middle of it, you can be like, okay, like you get kind of lost. Like all of the smoke starts coming in and you're like, okay, I know that like this smoke means something new is coming, but then you're just kind of stuck in this smoke with no sight and no clarity, and you're like, okay guys, like when's the smoke gonna clear? Grateful for the fire that burned, but now I'm like stuck here. And it can feel very just daunting, and that's not fun, and that is kind of where I'm at. I'm also moving, which is God blessed, like thank the Lord, because my living situation ain't it, and so I'm excited to move into a space that I get to call my own with my partner and just curate that. And I've found that it's been hard to stay in the present moment. And so I kind of wanted to talk today about staying in the present moment through transition. It can be quite hard to do so, but being grounded and present and allowing yourself to just be with the current energies will do you so good. Because I've found myself, I'm like 2 weeks from now. I'm living and I'm daydreaming about 2 weeks from now, which is making my current present reality move so slow. I have packed up everything almost. I really got a jump start on packing, and that's really because I'm so excited to get the heck out of this house. But also now I think I've put everything on pause subconsciously, not meaning to, but just out of excitement. And so now I feel like I'm just like waiting around for this thing, waiting around to move, waiting around for this transition, the new energies, the new everything, instead of just being present. Right? You gotta be present. Just gonna take a deep breath and integrate that. And I feel like in this transition too. Like I said, I've packed up a lot of things, and so I haven't left a lot of room and space for creation, I'm now seeing. Thank you, Spirit, for letting me see that in this moment. Yeah, I just haven't left a lot of space for creation, so I've found myself with just coming home and being like, what am I gonna do? And that too is actually been really beneficial. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place right now. I just kind of sat down and wanted to talk. Wanted to hash things out with you. So thanks for holding space. And I trust that, you know, from these epiphanies, you might receive your own epiphanies. So, but yes, I have really just kind of realized that creating was taking up a lot of my time, and how I wasn't leaving time for me. And so now that I'm left with me, I'm just like, what do I do? What do I like to do when I'm left alone? And I think I turned to creating because yes, it was fueling. Yes, it was exciting. Yes, it is what I want to do. However, the way in which I was doing it was burning me out, because I was thinking that I needed to do all of these things, needed to do all of this shit in order to make it, in quotations, make it, if you're not watching this and you're listening. But what the fuck does that even mean? To make it? To make money from it? To have a following? To be well known? To travel for this work? Like, what does that mean? And maybe that's what I need to define. But also, I just want to make it. And by that making it, I mean I just want to make content. That's all I want to do. I don't need to try and make it. I just need to make it. You with me? You feel me? You hear me? Do I hear myself? Yes. Yeah, I just need to make it, and that's it. I don't need to try and like be this thing or keep up with the pace, keep up with all the people that are doing the thing and being Instagram fucking famous. I don't know. And, you know, have 100 million views on each of their reels, and like I have a podcast, so I have to create reels, and I have to create this many reels for each podcast episode, and then I should be posting on Instagram more, I should be posting on TikTok more to get this out, and I should be blah blah blah. That I'm losing like the actual, it's becoming like quantity over quality. And while that's the downfall of us all, if you're asking me, when we started focusing on quantity versus quality, well, babe, that's capitalism right there for you in a pretty little box wrapped in a fucking American flag bow. And America's not the only one to do that, but July 4th. Yeah. And so this break has been really nice, if I'm being honest, because I think it's been helping me to relax all of that, to release all of that, to actually take a step back and be like, okay, podcast was serving me in some type of ways, but really not serving me in other types of ways. And I had a reading with the lovely Sam, who is an intuitive life coach and psychotherapist, and I'm really grateful. They invited me onto their podcast where they give Akashic Records readings. And if you haven't listened to their episode, go listen to it. Sam Franklin, beautiful, beautiful episode and outlook on spirituality, merging spiritual with science. I love it. And talking to people like that is so cool and so life-giving. I really do enjoy it. However, in the reading, they were like, yeah, like this isn't serving you. Because I was like, what do I create? Like, I have so many ideas and I have so much stuff, but like it seems like the podcast has been really taking a lot of my effort, and I don't like that, and it's not really fueling me. But like, I want to create it, and they were like, yeah, like basically if you keep going the way that you're going, it's spirit was like, it's gonna be mid. Like, yeah, you can keep the podcast the way it is, but it's gonna be mid. Like, it's not your energy. Again, it's this idea of like thinking that it has to be this way because that's what I've seen. But of course I pigeonhole myself. Anytime I do that, I'll just put myself in a corner anytime I do that, because I'm not meant to be like other people. Neither are you. You're watching this because you're not meant to be like other people too. You're meant to be you, and we are way showers. We are way showers. And what if I was able to have a successful YouTube channel without even touching Instagram or TikTok? You know what? TikTok's not bad. Talked a lot of shit about it for many years, but it's honestly not bad. There's more long form content, which is awesome. Very interesting. Like, it definitely has its things, but I have connected with some really cool people, and it feels real, where Instagram still feels like this like filtered, I don't know. I do not resonate with the frequency of Instagram. And I don't think I resonate with the frequency of short form content. I watch a lot of it. That's for damn straight. But as far as creating it, I much prefer long form. And channeling and connecting with galactic guides. And I really do want to grow the galactic side of stuff. I think I fell into talking about spirituality and mindfulness and all of that stuff because it was easy. That's what I knew. That's what I know. I've been through all of that. It's easy to share stories from that. It's easy to do that. Where the galactic stuff, it's all new. And so I think I've kind of limited myself by doing what I knew rather than doing something that creates evolution, that expands me, which is channeling and connecting with galactic beings. And I recorded a podcast episode like 2 weeks ago. Haven't posted it yet. It might be out by the time you are listening to this. But I did my first galactic channeled message on the podcast. And although I've, yes, like openly channeled, this was like intentionally creating a container to channel a galactic being on the podcast. And that felt really good. You know what? That's probably going to be last week's episode. So I'm probably going to post this after that. So just letting you in on the behind the scenes. Yeah, that felt really good. And I really enjoy that stuff. Like, I love channeled messages. I love tuning into the collective energy. I love like being in that. Ooh. You know when something resonates when Marissa starts crying. Like, that does something to my heart. That does something to my chest. And that's what I'm meant to be. And it's easy to hide behind what you know because of fears of being judged, fears of, you know, being literally executed, because that shit happened to a lot of us in parallel lifetimes. Being exiled from groups, and that has been a very big fear, and also something that has happened in this lifetime many a times. And it's probably so I could heal a parallel life where that happened a lot. I have been, kicked out of like friend groups, or kind of forgotten or left behind over something like I had no idea. Like one of the times I think I do know what occurred, but it wasn't my fault. And I was just completely shunned from this group. And that actually, all of that stuff started coming up recently, releasing and healing, which was beautiful. And then, there's been other times where I have no idea what happens. Everyone just starts hating you, and you're a young kid, and you're like, what did I do? And no one's talking because, petty kids. And anyways, I digress. Yeah, I think it's just easy to stay where you've always been and to not evolve into your next expanded version. And if you feel like you're doing that right now, I want to encourage you that there's so much out there for you. There's so much that this expanded version has possible for them. And you have to push the boundaries in order to see what's out there. And I don't think I've been doing that either in my, financial income realm, my job. I've kind of just found something that I'm comfortable at, and it's flexible, and so that's fun. But I wouldn't say I'm necessarily growing. I'm just kind of moving through the motions because it pays the bills. And honestly, I don't know. I think if you're doing something like that, but you have a side gig that you're really passionate about and you're going full force and you want to focus on that and just make that happen, I think that's okay. But it's just to notice, like, in your life, where have you stopped excelling? I think it's been really easy for me in past jobs to like hit a certain point and then to just think that I can't grow here any further. And so then I just subconsciously stop myself and I stop the growth because of that limiting belief. Like, yeah, it might not be serving me. I can already feel that something else is coming, but that shouldn't stop you from, again, being present and living now. Like, love, thank you, soul, spirit, love ya, bringing it full circle, okay, right? I packed up all my shit. And I was like, you know what? No more room to grow here. I'm moving out in like 3 weeks. So I'm just going to pack up all my stuff. And now I'm like sitting here and I'm like waiting around and I'm like, why hasn't it come yet? Why isn't it here? Tell me. Wait, I still have almost 3 weeks? What do you mean? And now I have like 2 weeks until like my first night in the place. But we start moving this coming Monday, so like about a week from now, the stuff into the house. But yeah, it's just funny how, it's almost like, I don't want to say like giving up, but in a way you are just saying, nope, not my problem anymore. And then you walk away. But that's how loose ends are created, period. Whew. Gonna take a breath on that. That's a really interesting download, actually. Loose ends are created by not finishing what you started, by not intentionally closing the container. And if you're a medium, if you channel, you know that after you've been channeling a being or an energy or doing a reading with someone, you want to close the container. Because if not, you're just going to be walking around in a Target and feeling everybody's dead something or other, or you're going to be like, that's a really weird shadow that keeps following me. What is that? You didn't close your channel, babe. Speaking of, if you're new to channeling, You can check out my episode with Sun Psychic Jean. She is a beautiful psychic, and we kind of talk about this. But yeah, you gotta close up the container. It's all about intention. And intention is like the arrow, the bow is your thought. And if you try to sit in meditation with no arrow, you're well, let me think. Maybe I'm not gonna think too hard about it. Yeah, so if you don't knock your bow with an arrow, is that the terminology? I'm gonna say yes. If you I read fantasy books, Marissa. What you should know this. If you don't knock your bow with an arrow, okay, you're like blindly shooting at nothing. But if you knock your bow with an arrow, then your intention can actually go somewhere and land. However, it's important to put your bow back before you run and go catch what you caught, okay? Because if you're running with a bow, then it's loose ends is what I'm getting at, okay? We don't need to go on. Loose ends. You gotta tie up the loose ends, and you do that by being present fully until that thing is out of your life. You gotta give, maybe you feel like you can't give it your all, but you've got to just be there and be present. And like I've said, like last week moved like a motherfucking snail, and now I'm here and I'm like, yes, last week done. But now I'm here and I'm like, oh my God, it's only Tuesday. I have until Monday till we start moving things, and then I have until Saturday until we like fully move in, and I'm like at Tuesday. But I feel that way because I am looking so far into the future, so far ahead, that I'm not leaving space for the beauty that still can occur in my present moment, in this beautiful house that has served me for the past like 9-10 months. And if I don't, treat that space with the utmost respect because of how it has served me, and if I'm not grateful, and like actually sit and find that gratitude for this chapter of my life, it's gonna stay open with me into the next. And this kind of goes into timeline shifting. When you shift timelines, you better believe that shit from your past will come up, because the universe is like, oh, okay, yeah, you want this thing? Okay, let's see how bad you really want it. And then they'll throw you some bullshit that you have to rise above in your newfound self, newfound timeline, and break the old patterns to fully ascend. And that is tying up the loose ends. That's meeting it in this new energy, meeting it in this new full, whole self, so you can move forward and have it not enter your reality ever again. Or if it does, in a very small scale. So maybe just really deep clean that shit. And as I'm saying all this, I'm realizing, let's make it count. The last few weeks in this space, like, let's just make it all that we can and be fully present. And when I called upon spirit, I sat in meditation. And I've noticed even with that too, like, I've been using this place a little bit as like an excuse, right? I'm like, you know what, I'll get a daily routine in my new space. My partner and I will do that in the new space. Nightly meditations, I know I haven't done them for a while, but like in the new space it'll be better. I really want to sit outside right now, but like, in the new space I'll have that. Like, I've been using it, and you can't do that because that prevents you from living again in the present moment. You gotta live now. Start it now before you move physically or spiritually, mentally, whatever. You gotta start it now to create the momentum to have it then. Because everything is created in the now moment. Everything is present. There is no future or past. Yes, I've been talking about the future a lot, but that shit doesn't exist, bruh. That doesn't exist. Only the now exists. And so how can we fully be with the now, be with what's around us, and take care of yourself right now? Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't use something as an excuse to wait to take care of yourself energetically, because that shit, I've learned from personal experience, that shit will back up and cause burnout. So, when I channeled spirit, they obviously said stay in the present moment and really focus on just being with everything in every single moment. And a good example of this is like being with your food when you eat it, rather than watching TV or trying to talk to someone or trying to read a book or trying to do something while you eat and multitask. The best thing for your digestive system and for digestion, period, is to focus fully on the food. Chew it fully. Connect with the tastes, connect with the mouthfeel, and like fully, deeply connect with your food. And that is a way of just like being fully present in every moment. Right now, here, I feel very present with you all. I am talking, I'm seeing the, nature that's around me, this big, beautiful maple tree that's right here. And it's stunning. And nature really, really will drop you into the present moment like that. Like that. Like that. Okay. Nature has a way of bringing you into the everything all at once here right now, because that's all nature knows. This tree doesn't know tomorrow. This tree doesn't know yesterday. It knows now. So if you're needing help in this being, in this presencing, tune in to nature, and that will really, really help you. I'm gonna tune into spirit real quick and see what else, because I had a little list going, but that's in my journal upstairs and I'm out here. So we're just trying to remember what else was there, spirit, for transition energy. It's most beneficial for this transition energy. To call upon support. You are not alone in this. If you feel like you're moving through a massive transition, find people that have gone through similar transitions. So for me, it's a physical move. I can't do that by myself, okay? I have been trying to hold far too much on my shoulders, and that's probably why I feel tired as fuck, okay? I have a partner, but I will tell you, I'm an Aries moon, Leo rising. I'm a stubborn little bitch sometimes. Alright? I'm stubborn AF. And when I want it done, I want it done now. And if that means me gotta do it, I'm gonna do it now. I don't want to wait. When? Okay, I acknowledge that. That is something I am working through, something I am trying to release, is just seeing that you want it done and having to do it now, even though if you waited literally 6 minutes, you'd have someone to help you. I'm working on it. I think it's a control thing. It's definitely a control thing. Okay, it's definitely like a trust thing, and it's definitely, I'm not the only woman in my family that has done it. Let me just say that. Okay, we are working on clearing the family lineage. So I really am trying to call on support for this move. Trying not to do it all by myself, and I definitely did pack up most of the boxes by myself. Of course, my partner helped with his stuff, but like I could have asked for his help to do my stuff, but I just did it. Because, you know, when you're an independent woman, you're like, well, I can just do it. And then you do it, but then sometimes your back hurts, and you're like, why did I do that? So, yeah, calling upon support. I have friends that are going to help me through the move. I already have family called in for the big day, and a week leading up. Like, we've got this. And if you are going through a hard time, maybe your transition is going through a breakup, call on your homies. And if you feel like you don't have homies available for you, call on spirit, dude. Like, call on your galactic guides. Aliens are always willing to help, let me just tell you right now. Call upon the aliens, call upon the angels, call upon your spirit guides, whoever they may be, your ancestors, your past loved ones. There is so much support out there for you, and I say this so I hear it, but also so you hear it. So much support out there for you, and you can do anything, but doing that thing with a little bit of support will be much more better. It'll be better, okay? We're tribe creatures. It'll be so much better if you have a little bit of support. So let me tune into spirit and see what was the other items that helped during transition periods. Okay, well, of course, sleep. But sleep in the terms of sleeping actually helps you to dimensionally travel. So when you are moving through a transition, you are in the womb space. You're kind of in the void. And if you haven't seen that podcast episode, go check that out. That was a really good one. I think it's something like what to do when you've entered the void after death or something. And it's a beautiful space. You know, my void, I kind of feel like I'm in the womb space right now. Like I can, but with this transition, I can like see pretty immediately. Like it's right there. It's really easy. But some transitions, dude, like I was in the womb space for like what felt like 2.5 years. And it can feel dark, and it can feel downright depressing sometimes because you don't know what you're doing, but that's okay. And sleep is actually a really good place to call upon your guides and help you transcend the density of the timeline in which you're moving out of. So using sleep as a tool to dimensionally shift, to energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally shift into the version of self that is being birthed. Sleep is really beneficial for that, and sleep is one of the most potent times that humans can do this energy, can shift, because the dream state, the sleep state is very lucid. So sleeping is very integral. And you know, check the comments. I'll go up, check my journal, and see if there was anything else that I missed. But really, just when you're moving through big transitions, all you have to do is be present and to hold okay, one last thing, found it. Hold the frequency of your future self without getting wrapped up in that version. So I don't think I've been doing this, okay? I'll be honest as fuck with my girlies and my I was thinking of like a way to say men that's kind of like girlies, but I'm not sure there's a word. My male friends, my humans. Okay, there we go. All inclusive. We love that. my humans. I'll be real with you. I haven't been doing that. I can hold a frequency, and I guess I have been doing that part a little bit where, I meditate, I can feel the new space holding me, I can feel the sun shining in, like spinning records, there's food in the oven, it feels so good to be in my own space, incense are burning, plants are freaking everywhere, it's a jungle, and I'm just loving life, and my partner is home with me, and it's beautiful. Okay, I've been doing that. However, I've been getting far too wrapped up in that energy. Far too wrapped up in that energy that I've lost the now moment. I'm living over there instead of living right here. And so a good way to feel into that is through grounded frequency holding. So sitting in a state of meditation where you're grounding here first. You're sending your cords down into Mother Gaia, down into this present moment. And then allowing yourself to either visualize or feel into the version of self of when you have that maybe end transition goal, or that item, that person, that place, that thing, when you have that. But bringing that frequency to the present moment rather than you going to that frequency, that's the difference. And I've been going to that frequency rather than holding that frequency here in the present moment. That actually does far more, because what did I say earlier? Everything's created in the present moment. So if you're going there into the future and creating from there, it's going to be skewed, and it's not going to happen as quick as you want it to, because it's not here right now. So hold the frequency, hold the vision, but make sure you're staying here. You are bringing that frequency into your now body, and that will also create a more seamless transition and a more harmonious dimensional shift into the new timeline that is here for you. Transitions can feel chaotic, so don't procrastinate, don't sit on stuff, but also don't rush ahead like I did and pack your whole shit up without actually taking the time to enjoy what you still have. Okay, sippy sip. Pardon if you could hear that. This is not ASMR. Okay, so let's do a little channel. Thanks for staying tuned in to my TED Talk. I hope that helped. Please, again, if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. I do enjoy sitting up with a straight back when I channel. Something about the rays coming on in real hot and heavy. Okay. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you're moving through a transition, and if you have any questions about that transition, and we can ask my guides. I really want to start answering y'all's questions, okay? So leave me some questions. That's all you got to do. I will look at them and I will answer them, hopefully. So I'm going to tune in and ask about the current energies. I'm going to ask about just the exhaustion from a galactic standpoint. So if you haven't heard me mention galactic energies, well, we're talking about extraterrestrial energies. We're talking about advanced civilizations and ancient advanced civilizations that are here to help humanity, and that I channel. So, and other people channel. It's not just me. You can do it too. So let's tune in and see who wants to come forward and talk to us about the exhaustion, the current energies on the planet, and what's happening. So give me just a minute. We are the Octarian Light Council of Six, and we come to answer your questions, answer the curiosities that you have as to why you feel so tired, why you feel you want to sleep. And well, we are excited to share with you that the sun has been sending you powerful, powerful, powerful energies that the human body is not used to. There are energies hitting the earth that have not yet ever hit the earth in Earth's entirety. And humans, your group of humans, are the first humans to interact with these new energies that are hitting the earth. Humans have never received these energies before, but you were born to be able to receive them. However, how you have been living, it is a little different and is helping to recalibrate your bodies back to how you were born, the state in which you were born. When humans are born onto the planet, they are born into into prisons. They are born into cages of programming and manipulation. They are not able to hold their highest frequency due to the structures and mechanics that are placed on them at a very young age. These solar energies are coming in to dissolve these mechanics, to dissolve the structures, and to bring humans back into their higher dimensional state of consciousness. This is why these rays from the sun, these solar rays from the sun, feel so intense. They are actually closest to how most of you, many of you, starting in the 90s, were born into the planet with this energy. It is similar to this, and it is you all that's being affected most by this, because your energy has strayed so far from these frequencies that it is in need of returning. It's a resurgence of your truest frequency, and that means the dissolve is extremely intense. The young kids on the planet right now aren't having this effect, aren't having these issues with this energy, because they have not yet been thrown under the mechanics and the structures that you once were. So they are able to soak in the energy as it is, where you all, the energy hits you, it needs to dissolve and it needs to penetrate fully your being, while also crushing away and dissolving what no longer resonates. That is why you feel so exhausted. That is why there is so much transition happening for some of you. It is because you have gone so far off the beaten path of this true vibration that you were brought to the planet in, that these solar flares are helping you to return. But that can be a painful process. That can be a painful situation or experience. But we invite you to go with the flow and take rest where is needed. You mentioned sleep earlier, and we suggest sleep as the best possible thing that could help you at this time. Take naps, drink lots of water, eat clean, and do the work. Look at yourself. Bring awareness to the areas in which you know are shifting. You know need shift. It is no longer time to sit in the old patterns, in the old existence, in the old way of doing things. Break the routine, break the chains, and break into your truest freedom in this high vibrational state. We love you. We are here to support you. We wish you well, and it will be calming down as August enters your field. Man, that was like a weather report. Okay. I can feel, wow. coming back online. Wow. Shoo-wee. My channel is becoming, it's growing and shifting and becoming very potent and much stronger than it normally is. So coming back from channeling like that, it really is kind of like re-entering the world. But wow, what a beautiful and powerful message, and very interesting message. I'm gonna go ahead and clip out that channeled message. So if you want to share that with a friend, go to that little snippet or share the whole podcast episode if you'd like. I realized that I never said, "Oh, welcome to the Urge and Marissa podcast," but that's okay. We're here, we're doing our thing, and it doesn't always need to look the same. Things can change. And honestly, what feels resonant is just making things as easy and natural and raw as possible. And so you're catching me in my rawest form, in my work clothes, with my lemon ginger aid, and in my backyard, enjoying the sun. Anyways, so that was really interesting that a lot of us were born with this frequency, but it was basically we were mechanized out of it. we became like mechanized machines out of that frequency, and now like what I saw is basically that frequency from the sun is like dissolving the machine around us and allowing us to tune into our like actual natural technology, and not being the robot that the powers that were on the planet wanted us to be. So very interesting message. If you resonate, let me know. And I'm just really grateful to share with you, to have this space with you, to walk with you as we all ascend. You know, I'm not any better, any higher, anything more or less than you. We are equal, and we're moving through it together, and we are friends in this. That's what I really want the ETM community to be, is just a bunch of friends walking through ascension together. No need to put me on a pedestal just because I'm the one you're watching. Nope. We all have this, and my hope and my goal is to just remind you of your power, to remind you of your truest energy in your truest form and your galactic citizenship. So stay tuned for more videos that help you to ignite that. I just got done with the 21 days of light language. It went on a little longer than I hoped it would because of this exhaustion energy. It was not a cohesive 21 days, but that's okay. Is cohesive the right word? I don't know. It was not a back-to-back 21 days. I've found it's really hard to do any routine for that long every single day. I'm not a person of routine, so I did it with my own flow, so it lasted a little longer than 21 days. But go check that out. It was really powerful, and it did really help me break through this kind of insecurity that I have of posting this kind of content. And I am too realizing, you know, I want to feed the platforms that I resonate with, and YouTube is one of those platforms, TikTok is one of those platforms, and Instagram, you know, I'm just not sure it's really fueling and feeding me. And I feel that way about Facebook too. I've never really resonated with Facebook. And so, yeah, I just really am sitting in a space of kind of me time and reclusivity to remap and, you know, re-encounter the ways in which I started this, and my why, and how I want it to show up in the world. And like I said, just easy as possible, and to just do what I love and what fuels me, which is channeling. And that's what I wanted to be. I've always had messages that I would be a collective channel, that I would be, a powerful trance channel, and that's really coming online, which I'm excited about. But yeah, no longer hiding behind what's comfortable. I just get to be and create what it is that I want, and not have to think that I have to do all this crap to make it. I just gotta make it. So thank you so much for listening, if you listened to my ramble. But yeah, a lot of epiphanies can come through transition energies, a lot of light bulb moments, a lot of finding yourself, and that's exactly what we're doing. And just be present with what comes up. You don't need to hide from it. You don't need to be ashamed of it. You don't need to try to avoid it, because that's the last thing you want to do when a wave is coming at you. Just try to avoid it. You want to dive right into it, and on the other side you'll see the magic that is here for you. So much love to you. Stay tuned for next week's episode, if there is one. The next episode, I'm not putting a time limit on it, and it'll probably be after my move, but who knows, it might be before then. So peace out, much love to you. And this week's affirmation, we're gonna work with just make it in the present moment. Okay, love ya.